Hello, busy dads and busy people everywhere. With so many people testing into the Busy Dad program, finding their feet within the program, I wanted to take this opportunity to answer a frequently asked question that I get about the Busy Dad program with this new installment in the Busy Dad FAQs series. And the question is simply, what if one of my movements is stronger than the other? Okay, this is a scenario that many people will encounter as they test into the Busy Dad program. Suppose that you tested in on Monday and you found that you were able to get 136 counts in your 20-minute time window, but then on Thursday you tested in with your seals and you were stuck at, say, 35 seals in that time frame. What that would mean is that there's an imbalance between your two movements. You are a level 1C practitioner when it comes to 6 counts, but a level 1B practitioner when it comes to Navy SEALs. And the question is, what should you do if that's your situation? And what I ask you to do is really the opposite of what you will probably be naturally inclined to do. It's very natural to incline towards the movement where we're getting the better results. Okay? And so you might feel a natural temptation to really put your training emphasis on the stronger movement, but I'm going to ask you to do the very opposite of that. I'm going to ask you to put your training emphasis onto the weaker movement. And so if your situation is the one I just described, where your Navy SEALs are weaker than your 6 counts and they're in a level below, I'm going to ask you to budget 60 minutes of your weekly 80 minutes for Navy SEAL training until you can bring up your Navy SEALs to the same level as your 6 counts. So during that time, you'll largely be on maintenance mode with your 6 counts, and you'll be trying to build up your Navy SEALs. If the situation I just described is yours, what that suggests is that your cardiovascular fitness is more advanced than your upper body coordination and strength right now. And in that case, because we want to be all-round athletes on the Busy Dad program, we want cardiovascular fitness, but we also want upper body strength and definition. I'm going to ask you to do the work you need to do to bring your upper body strength and coordination into line with your cardiovascular fitness. And if the shoe is on the other foot, perhaps you're coming from a lifting background and your Navy SEALs are way better than your 6 counts. Someone like my friend Notha would certainly have that background, would have that imbalance. I would ask you to do the opposite, okay? To do 60 minutes a week on the weaker movement, in this case, the 6 counts. Because again, we want holistic fitness in the Busy Dad program. We want strength and conditioning in the upper body, but we also want overall cardiovascular fitness as well as conditioning in the lower body. And that's why it's really important not to neglect the weaker of the two movements, okay? Remember, ego is not part of the Busy Dad program. You are not in a competition with anybody. You are simply attempting to transcend your own limitations and become stronger and fitter in the process, okay? And so that means that there's no shame in putting your focus on the weaker movements, okay? Nobody is watching, nobody is judging. If one of the movements is weaker, I want you to spend time, I want you to get down and really focus on that movement. And you will find, and at the beginning of the program this will seem impossible to you, that the movement that starts out the weakest will become the strongest. In my own practice, there are 6-week periods where I'm terrified of 6 counts. I'm desperately wanting to shirk my 6 count training, whereas my Navy SEAL training is going really well. And then it flips. I find that it's the Navy SEALs I'm afraid of. That's what we want. We really don't want imbalances as you move through the Busy Dad program. So if that situation I just described is yours, if you test in and there's an imbalance, please, okay, put the focus on the weaker movement until they're both where they need to be. And from then on, you can move on 40 minutes a week for each movement and continue like that until any further imbalances emerge. So I hope that is a helpful installment in the FAQs playlist. Please let me know if you have any other questions you'd like me to answer, and I will make a video next week answering them. I'll see you all very soon.